Good morning to wherever you are. This is your boy LB, always coming in to make his consistent videos as long as it is possible for me to do this each day. If I'm afforded the opportunity, if I'm given the leisure, if all things seem to work magical for me, you'll get a video from me every day. And I hope I don't compromise that for BS reasons. I can't imagine why. So it is so cool to see that when I get more active in the environment, the environment gets more active within me. It's very interesting to see how energy maneuvers and plays. I can't tell you from day to day how things will go. It's not always sunshine and breeze and beautifulness. Sometimes it's rain clouds. Well, today I didn't think I'd have anything to talk about. I always have plenty to talk about. So I'm getting ready to right now, as of this moment, send my the person that was connected with, and I just sent it. So I just sent this to my ex's, the recent ex, her daughter's soon-to-be husband. Me and him connected, his family connected. They wanted to make me desserts. They were always inviting. It was a great connection. I don't really have bad connections with anybody as long as they're pretty much even Steven. And most people are, in my view. Maybe that's how I project them, but that's how I interpreted our relationship. I always enjoyed it. So I just sent him a message wishing him a happy wedding this weekend, which I was going to be a part of. But as soon as this whole thing happened with me and Sharon, poof, bon voyage. It was gone. So I just figured I would just share that with you. Not going into details. What's some other ones? Sent my cousin his stuff for looking up Makuna Purines. And trying to think, is there anything else? X hit me up about some stuff. Just wanted to talk some little weird stuff. It's all good. I think I don't know if there's a woman out here that can give some insight here. I talked to some women on VR a while back, and they were very adamant about how there is always this connection with a man. You always think about, like, even if it was a breakup, that, what happened. I don't know what it is, but they always had this connection back with their previous partner. And in my case, I can't understand that. Maybe it's the Sigma in me, but I don't have that kind of relationship connection back to somebody that I left or they left me. Well, maybe if they left me. And this gets me to my point about my dream I had last night. So in my dream, I've had one dream that kind of rocked me, where I had about my last ex. And that one was like rekindling and loving and all that kind of fun stuff. Then that moved on. And then there was a second dream, which I just had last night. And that first one messed me up like for the next day or two. This last one, I don't feel like it really messed me up, but it was there. I had like all of these different women, and even one that I was like, oh man, how did I get involved with this? Where I screwed up is with my doctor friend and his wife. You could always tell we have an energetic connection. It just doesn't go away. She's admitted it. She's put it smack in my face. She's like, we got a connection. Like, you already know. And I was like, yeah, I definitely do. Definitely know. And, me and her sit and we get chummy, but she's a doctor, he's a doctor. And it's very weird to experience that, because I love them both. I love him and her. And it's just unfortunate that we have that tight pull. But in the dream world, it's like a whole nother landscape of activity. And this has happened a couple times there. And I have I can't reference anything. It's not like I'm seeing or thinking about her day to day. I don't ever do that. I just know that there's an energetic pull. There's nothing like I go, oh, I can't wait to envision my life. Or if things just went a little sideways, I'd get with her. I don't have anything like that. Nothing, no thoughts, ill will thoughts at all. I actually push and try to support and reinforce. Anyways, she was there in my dreams. The one that I'm currently talking to is in there, but she's going through, like in the dream setting, she's going through some really tough emotional battles, and I think it reflected back, like I needed to check on her. Like I think she's probably, it felt like she was hurt that she wasn't hearing from me, and I'm thinking like, damn, we just talked. But that's the problem. I have different relationship patterns that have shaped me and what I believe relationships should be like, and it doesn't mean that that has to be. I don't really even know, to be honest. It's very weird for me. I don't know how to engage sometimes. And that's the problem with being an expector and an impressionist versus an inspector expressionist. Instead of going out and kind of seeing how things are in the world, you just automatically assume. So I'm trying to change some of those things. I gave my message here to my homeboy here. I don't know what to expect. I could just be a coward and not say anything. But instead, I decided to say something to him. It's on him then to respond. I did my part. I'll know where he stands. He always seemed to be a pretty legit guy anyways. So we'll see. I don't know. He could be pissed off at me. I don't know what she's told him. Could be that, oh, he was rude, and it could have been a lot of weird shit. I have no idea. But I haven't done anything, I could tell. I started thinking about some things that my buddy shared with me yesterday, because he's in the Hollywood industry, or at least he's in the acting industry, and he can't get anywhere with that kind of career path. Like, because I don't know if any of you follow this, but I don't need to follow it. I already knew it was wrapped. I knew it was done when it was done. This is a new age of energy that people have to come about and learn. Like, just like Hollywood had its time, like when it came in, it's an inception, and it's a recent inception. You don't always understand this, but it's not like Hollywood's been going on all this time. Storytelling's been going on all this time. It got a manipulative bump by this dark type of energy to propagandize and just play on the minds and the spirits of so many people. But that time frame has run its course, and now it's the evolution of what does that medium take place? What's going to happen? What is it going to transpire? What is it going to transform into? And I have said this from 2020 and beyond. I said Hollywood is going to suck. All the movies, all that shit is going down the drain. And it will take an act of God for anything to be really valued as far as a video, like where a movie gets its attention for what it's being made. So for example, you can't always do an Avatar and it just be knocked out of the park. Matter of fact, I probably would go as far as to say that this last Avatar didn't do as well as the first one. So I'm going to check that out right now. Let's see. Did Avatar 2 do as well as Avatar 1? Let's see. I could be wrong. Opinions are split among audiences and critics about whether Avatar or its sequel is better. Both have made history at the box office and represent incredible achievements. Okay. Avatar 2 spends more time on character development. It doesn't really matter. I liked Avatar 2. Let's see. Did Avatar 2 make more money? Oh, I was wrong. I like being wrong and finding out. But this is a good, clear example. I can probably still wiggle out of what I said before. But it says, yes, Avatar 2 made more money than most movies ever do. According to various sources, Avatar 2 grossed over $2.3 billion globally. It became, but it said globally. I wonder what it was in America. It became the third highest grossing movie of all time, behind only Avatar and Avengers Endgame. Despite its high production budget, the movie was profitable, earning over 530. I was right. Oh shit. It became the third highest grossing movie of all time, behind only Avatar and Avengers. So that brings me back to my point. I was right. Yeah. Even with a power sequel like that movie, and it got close enough to get back to its predecessor, it still could not take the front and center. And it should. It was a great movie. But why is that happening? Because the energy, and we're talking about a global event, the energy of, let's say, the influence is gone down. This happens. This is a phenomenon called habituation. In psychology, I learned it quite well. I thought it was a fascinating topic. And you will see this happen all the time. Habituation is very similar. I just liken it to hearing your favorite radio song. Hear it enough times, often enough, you are done with it. You're sick of it. The body starts to refute it. It doesn't like continuation too much. Matter of fact, I don't. Was one reason why the relationship I was in, if it went sideways, maybe it ran its course. We can't sit here and wait. We can't try to psychoanalyze that and beat ourselves up and all that kind of stuff. It was just the time it was. It was time to be. So with habituation, if you hear the song over and over and you're sick of hearing it, Hollywood energy has been pervasive. And now in the age of abundance, it has no power. Remember, power usually is in the hands of scarcity. If it's rare and it's hard to find and it's popularized, it's made like significant, not only to you but to the masses, then the value of that item just goes boom, 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 no matter what it is. And in the case of Hollywood energy, it didn't go through all that, or it did go through that. It's now in this space where it's no longer scarce, because in the age of abundance, there's been too many things that's done to counter its effects. So, for example, you had just the Hollywood industry itself. We're talking about like, I can't think of it. I'm thinking about TMZ. So you're thinking about the 30-mile zone of Hollywood, that little area, and that little section, WB, all that, they held the weight. But then you had usurpers start to come in like Netflix, like Amazon Prime and Hulu, and they're starting to become all of these little network television or movie productions that they didn't mind hiring actors that couldn't get a time of day over there or were screwed over. They just simply moved over, made them the juggernaut that they are, and the energy kind of filtered out. So what happened is concentration just became saturated. That's only one thing. The second thing was people went through a numbing effect, experiencing a lot of their Hollywood actors and actresses be involved in this pedophilia shit. That didn't go over well. That was one of the biggest strikes. And then feeling like they were manipulated this whole time. When people feel like that they've been deceived, and then they find that, well, who are you really? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, everybody's popular. Like, I find more shows on YouTube more popular that are just by people like me and you. So all of a sudden, it decentralized the power that Hollywood had. And that's why the industry is struggling and is not doing well. And this isn't just in that sector. It's across all the art, okay? So my buddy that's in writing and screenwriting, all that stuff, he's experiencing this. Now, don't get me wrong, there's probably still some places that are doing well, but again, they're getting exactly what they can get and nothing more. Because people have become so diverse in what they're interested in. It's hard to have a collective. People have many collectives within the collective. And so I've got indirect friendship with EDM artist called Kill the Noise. He's awesome. I loved using his music in my DJ sets. I mean, it would always just like give me that like hardcore kind of good EDM. And he posted something on Facebook in his story, and I took some screenshots because I want to read it. And I think it was woo. And I'm not sure if this is coming from, and some of you guys already know who this is, but Guillermo Del Toro. He's made so many good different movies, shows, flicks. I mean, like, he's a well-known producer, or what am I saying here? Screenwriter. He does screenwriting. He's a director and production producer. So, anyways, I totally agree with this statement. I'm going to read this out to you. First of all, he's quoting this piece, and I think this, yeah, so he writes this. This is coming from Guillermo Del Toro, and Kill the Noise, that's his buddy, so he posted it. And he's quoting this piece. This is what Guillermo Del Toro is quoting. He's quoting this top piece. There are two pieces of language that entered our lexicon around 5 or 6 years ago that are horrible. Content and pipeline, which are to describe oil, water, and sewage. Whatever it is, they don't describe art and cinema, because they talk about an impermanence, something that we just flush through and has to keep moving. And in my world, a beautiful work of audiovisual storytelling should hold its place next to a novel or a painting. So Guillermo del Toro sees a statement, and he starts to have a little rant. Now I'm going to read you the rant. It's going to be long. Forewarn you. What's my time looking like? Damn. It's probably going to get into 20 damn minutes. I want to go work out. That's why I'm like, oh my God. But I don't mind sharing this with you. And this is what my buddy is suffering in the art industry. So he says, Guillermo del Toro, I totally agree with this statement. It is a risk to create long-form, detailed, heartfelt, and nuanced artwork like albums, films, novels, music, videos, etc. in today's environment that rewards content creators that grind out swipeable media. He is so spot on. The value in quality like oak wood is gone. It's the IKEA nation. What is it people know about? What was so? I'm making my video right now, and what do I have in the background? Some fucking fake ass background with bookcases look pretty and cute. Hey, it serves a purpose for me making this content. It looks nicer than you seeing the back wall and a blinds, you know, like. But that's what I'm talking about. It serves a quick and easy purpose than me having to refurnish my entire house. That's expensive, exhausting. So what are we getting at here? We're getting to the nuts and bolts of the now, the intangible, not tangible. We like to stay in the space of, well, it's here, it's gone, and it didn't really hold up a lot of my energy. It's here, it's gone. It didn't really take away a whole lot. I'm flexible. I'm able to move. That's what people want. They want the option to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And if you get tied down with a piece of art, here it is. It is the artist's perspective and intention and direction. And that kind of, the way he's getting ready to vent, I guarantee he's going to be building his whole case off of a scarcity energy section. We are done with scarcity. If anybody has a hard time figuring this out, scarcity is done. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still valuable, but into the hearts and minds of certain people. Like somebody like me could appreciate some of that old good craft, but it's not on the masses. And I can understand that too very well. Totally get both sides. But the problem is getting disgruntled for taking a side, which I always, complain about, taking one side and championing it above another. This goes for holy wars where things are done out of the act of supporting something good. Anything that pushes one side or the other. If it's evil or if it's angelic, I don't like either one infringement on the other inappropriately. If it's meant to be a combination, whatever, a fusion, it meets at the levels it's supposed to. Water finds its level. I'm Pisces energy, y'all. I'm just where I'm coming from. All right, so let's move on before I start to digress on everything. In today's grind out swipeable media, I have to agree. You guys will never look at my content enough as long if it's not like easily like instant gratification. It's an IG nation, instant gratification nation. That's it. I bet if I made a little channel like that, gone. That's what TikTok is. All right, it's because we want it now. I can't get it now. All right, you've got to put faith in your audience that they will trust you when you take time away to work on your craft. He says craft. There has to be a mutual trust and respect. And now more than ever, it has been a really special connection, and I believe it is possible. Oh, good. He's saying some good stuff. I have worked hard for decades to prove it to you and you all and earn your respect as an artist. I hope I can continue to keep this level of trust with you. So what comes next? I think musicians have been dealing with this problem for decades with music streaming. The value of our art on streaming platforms is at an all-time low. Read that again. The value of our art on streaming platforms is at an all-time low. This is because it is extremely abundant. It actually was abundant a long time ago. There's been artists that you never heard the light of day that played in the 70s and 60s and 50s, and they have glorious music that rival the mainstream media of that era. But again, I digress. This is why Kill the Noise probably posted this, because he's been feeling the wave, probably the hit. The value of our art streaming platform. Okay, ability to market ourselves on social media, and this is why I started to post this. Because I just read this part and I was like, oh, I didn't read that other before, but I read that and I was like, The ability to market ourselves on social media is a kind of a frustration or a Faustian bargain. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. I can relate to that in my industry because that's how I promote myself. I have to be on this stupid social media crap, and I have to be so damn consistent, and it robs the soul. There was a Russian mafia guy that posted some crazy stuff about being successful in the world, and he has like in his later part of his little short that the person took of the mafia guy, he says, never chase money. I think it was like, he goes, don't ever chase money because that'll make you into a little bitch or something. He made it just like saucy, and he was like, pfft. And he spit on it. Like, it's a weak thing to go and do because you sacrifice all of your integrity. You really don't want to do it, but you do it anyways, and you keep doing it, and you're going to do it all the time. For what? That sacrifice of something else that you do want? And when you get it, you don't really even care about that? It's a job at that point. So it's not really right. So you damn if you do. Excuse me. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's a treadmill that is turned up to full sprint. If you engage, you better not stop. If you don't engage at all, you're just standing still. So true in my area. In my world, I think artists are used to letting go of their work at this point because it has been ingrained in us that the art itself doesn't have material value anymore. No, it's in material value is going way down. There's more essence value that I try to get people to tap into versus material, because that's what I feel like is more relevant nowadays. Getting people into the physical space to listen to the music and enjoy the art still has value. I agree. If there's a live event where your favorite band is playing or something like that, you're going to come out there for the feeling. That's the essence. He's don't know what he's talking about right here, but he's talking about essence. As value, that's where we are now and where I still feel in control to some degree as a creator. It comes with its challenges as well. I'm just rambling now, but thanks for reading as long as you did. So that's the end of that whole segment. He rambles, I ramble. It's all good, Guillermo. But it's in live performance. It's in the act of the engagement in this situation, and boom. See, there's no real reason why we need to market our essence. Somebody is probably busy going, that's a trick of the devil. If that's how you want to take this particular point that I'm making, go for it. Go for it. It's an act of deceptional energy or manipulative energy to take on that, making it an observation that there's power there and usurping the power. It's an opportunity. Because anybody that would be a shining star or has star potential, they're fucked with here. And it's okay because it always levels it out. The person either rises above their circumstance or their circumstance overcomes them. And they're manipulated by everything. So it becomes a growth factor. They're letting their light shine, but they are immature about how it shines. They don't know that they're just like, woo, just letting this light beam all over the place. But they don't know how to quite manage the focal, they don't know how to use the focal beam. So this is just getting projected so heavily. And then you have sources that come in to say, I'll take care of that for you. I'll help you manage that. I'll help direct you. And they have ulterior motives, or the energy that's around them has ulterior motives. So it's a very complex web of things that happens in the energy vibe space. That's all I wanted to share today. I don't want to go too crazier than that, but the industry is suffering in music, art, and video. And my friend said he doesn't see an improvement anytime soon. I told him that already, but it's like, when you gonna wake up, bro? This is an ugly, ugly era. We have to figure out where we can thrive appropriately. I'm still searching for it a little bit in my own world, but I don't know. I'm going to embark on a different journey here, and I still think there's hope there because I am putting in things of value that I feel like people can benefit from, but there are other entities that have controlled that space that I feel like are even beating my out. You know, I'm trying to get paid, bro. But there's people that have figured out that we just create it, you ding-dongs buy it, and we don't even care they don't care about the bottom dollar. They detract it, they squeeze the value all the way out so that there is no real prosperity or advantage taking or overstanding. So that's what I've noticed. And should that be the case? There was a time where I was going to give away all my ideas for free. I just wanted to see them manifested. And would have been nice to be hired as a consultant. But I think there's something tied to those types of energies. Just be my guess. Oh, God. Always. The X has an angle. She communicates. She gets involved with me. Always in some little, and then she wants to change something. She wants something to go in her direction. I can't stand that manipulative shit. I wish she would just come straight and say, hey, well, sometimes she does. Let me back up. Sometimes she does say, hey, I need this, I need that. But usually, 90 to 95% of the time, she says some weird, cute shit that like soften the fucking request and then requests some, would you be open? I can't stand it. And it's like, it reads as manipulative to me. I could be wrong, but that's how it comes across as me, and I'm just automatically irritated. Let's see what the she wants now. Would you be open? Would you be willing to take her to swimming lessons on Monday at 5:30 on the weeks you have? No, I won't be able to take her every week. I'm looking to sign her up in Clemens. No. No. I cannot. I am not guaranteeing that. Like, some things I can do for my kids, some things I can't. Video ran long. You guys are probably just waiting to get off this thing. I will see you later. Peace.